Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a mixed trend with periods of both upward and downward movement. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a generally neutral to slightly bearish momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts a downward trend, with prices potentially reaching $87,000. Considering this, I propose a short position strategy. Entry price should be $89,400, with a stop loss set at $89,300 to protect against unexpected upward movements. A target price of $88,500 is set to capitalize on the predicted downward trend. The RSI is around 44.8, not oversold, and the price is near the forecast price, so this is a good entry point. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. The price is currently near the center band, suggesting a potential for a breakout. A short position is initiated at $89,400, with a stop loss placed just above the upper band at $89,300. The target price is set at $88,500, aligning with the forecast and providing a reasonable profit margin. This combined approach leverages both the RSI and Bollinger Bands to enhance risk management and increase the probability of a successful trade. The strategy is to short Bitcoin at $89,400, set a stop loss at $89,300, and target a price of $88,500. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum demonstrates a volatile trend with periods of both upward and downward momentum. The RSI values fluctuate around the 50 mark, indicating neither consistently overbought nor oversold conditions. However, there were periods of oversold conditions, such as RSI of 32.8 on December 3, 2025. Considering the forecast for the coming week, the price is expected to hover around $3,100 to $3,180. Therefore, I recommend a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $3,100, with a stop loss placed at $2,970, just below the lower Bollinger Band. The initial target price will be $3,330, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band. To refine the strategy, we will implement a trailing stop loss based on the Bollinger Bands. As the price rises, the stop loss will be adjusted to the lower Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $3,330, we will take partial profits and move the stop loss to the entry price of $3,100. If the price continues to rise, we can set a second target price at $3,500, but with a reduced position size to manage risk. This combined approach leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while minimizing downside risk. The final portfolio will consist of 60% long position with entry price of $3,100, stop loss of $2,970 and target price of $3,330, and 40% long position with entry price of $3,100, stop loss of $3,100 and target price of $3,500. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a mixed trend with periods of volatility and consolidation. The price has fluctuated between a support of $825 and a resistance of $898. The RSI has remained largely within the 38 to 51 range, suggesting neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts a slight downward trend, I propose a short-term contrarian strategy. I will enter a long position at $873, placing a stop loss at $861 to limit potential losses if the downward trend persists. My target price will be $898, aiming to capture a potential bounce from the support level or a breakout above the recent resistance. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price is currently near the middle band, indicating a potential for a move either way. If the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, around $859, I will consider adding to the long position, viewing it as an oversold opportunity. However, if the price breaks below $864, I will exit the position. The combined strategy leverages the RSI for identifying potential reversals and the Bollinger Bands for confirming momentum and volatility. This portfolio combines the most efficient strategies to maximize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a downtrend, with a forecast price consistently below $2. The support price is stable at $1.8, and the RSI has mostly been below 50, indicating a weakening momentum. The Bollinger Bands suggest increasing volatility, with the price nearing the lower band. Considering these factors, I recommend a short position strategy. We will enter a short position at $2.01, placing a stop-loss order at $2.11 to protect against a potential upward spike. The initial target price is $1.93, aligning with the forecast and the lower Bollinger Band. To enhance the strategy, we will incorporate an RSI-based adjustment. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will move the stop-loss to $2.03 to protect profits and potentially capitalize on a bounce. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 60, suggesting a shift in momentum, we will adjust the target price to $1.8 to capture more significant gains. This combined strategy leverages the downtrend, forecast data, and technical indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio will be 60% short position, 20% RSI adjustment, and 20% Bollinger Bands prediction. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a recent downtrend with a forecast indicating further decline. The RSI consistently remains below 50, fluctuating between 33.5 and 49.7, suggesting a generally oversold condition. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, indicating decreasing volatility, and the forecast price consistently falls below the center of the Bollinger Bands, further supporting a bearish outlook. Therefore, I recommend a short-selling strategy targeting a price of $129. A stop-loss should be placed at $138 to protect against a potential reversal. The initial target price is $125, based on the forecast. To refine the strategy, I will incorporate RSI levels. If the RSI rises above 50, indicating a shift towards overbought territory, consider closing the short position and re-evaluating. The support level of $132 acts as a secondary safety net. If the price falls below $132, it could signal a stronger downtrend, and the target price can be adjusted to $123. This combined approach, leveraging both forecast data and technical indicators, aims to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits a slightly downward trend, with the forecast prices consistently below the recent closing prices. The RSI consistently fluctuates around 40 to 50, indicating neutral to slightly oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is nearing the lower band, suggesting a potential bounce. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy with a focus on capitalizing on potential short-term rebounds. The entry price will be $0.268, coinciding with the forecast price for December 16, 2025, and the lower Bollinger Band. A stop-loss will be set at $0.263, just below the forecast price for December 19, 2025, to limit potential losses if the price continues to decline. The target price for this trade will be $0.281, aligning with the recent resistance level. This target provides a reasonable profit margin while acknowledging the overall downward trend. The strategy combines the RSI's oversold signal, the Bollinger Band's potential bounce, and the support level to create a high-probability trade. This portfolio prioritizes the Bollinger Bands and RSI strategies, as they offer more immediate signals than the support and resistance levels. This strategy aims for a quick profit by capitalizing on short-term volatility and potential reversals, carefully managing risk with a defined stop-loss. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a downtrend. The RSI consistently hovers around 40, indicating neither oversold nor overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. The forecast predicts a continued decline, with prices falling to $0.131. Therefore, I recommend a short position strategy. Entry price will be $0.136. Set a stop-loss at $0.137 to protect against unexpected upward movements. The initial target price will be $0.131, based on the forecast. To enhance the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI drops below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider covering the short position. Conversely, if the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, we will maintain the short position. If the price reaches the target of $0.131, we will take profit. If the price continues to decline, we can adjust the target price to $0.129. This combined strategy balances risk and reward, maximizing potential returns while minimizing losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano is currently in a slightly downward trend, with the forecast prices indicating a continued decline. The RSI consistently hovers around the oversold level of 30, suggesting a potential for a bounce. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, indicating a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. Given these factors, I recommend a contrarian strategy focusing on short-term gains. We will implement a buying strategy when the RSI reaches an oversold level of 20, anticipating a rebound. Specifically, I suggest entering a long position at $0.402 when the RSI dips below 20. Place a stop-loss order at $0.385, just below the support level and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $0.436, aligning with the resistance level. This strategy aims to capitalize on a short-term bounce while mitigating risk with a clearly defined stop-loss. The forecast price suggests a potential dip to $0.385, triggering the stop-loss and limiting losses. If the price rebounds as anticipated, the target price of $0.436 offers a reasonable profit. This approach combines technical indicators with support and resistance levels for a balanced and potentially profitable investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a generally upward trend, consistently testing and bouncing off the support price of $548. The RSI values fluctuate but generally remain above the oversold level of 20, indicating moderate buying pressure. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for price movement. Given this, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $582, with a stop-loss set at $572, just below the recent low. The initial target price will be $592, aligning with the first day's forecast. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 40, consider entering at $582, with a stop-loss at $572. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it's a strong buy signal, enter at $582, with a stop-loss at $572. If the RSI reaches 80 or the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, take profit at $592. For a more aggressive approach, if the forecast price continues to rise, consider raising the target to $598, but always maintain the $572 stop-loss to manage risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH shows a volatile trend with recent upward momentum. The RSI consistently fluctuates, but the recent values above 40 indicate a strengthening bullish sentiment. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, suggesting a potential for a pullback. Considering this, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. We will initiate a long position at $3,360. The stop-loss will be set at $3,310 to protect against a potential downward correction, and the target price will be $3,460, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI falls below 30, we'll consider a second entry at $3,370, with a stop-loss at $3,320 and a target price of $3,410. If the RSI reaches 70, we'll consider taking partial profits at $3,400. This layered approach allows for capitalizing on both trend following and mean reversion opportunities, optimizing risk-reward ratio and ultimately aiming for high returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a mixed trend with periods of volatility and consolidation. The price has fluctuated between a support of $825 and a resistance of $898. The RSI has remained largely within the 38 to 51 range, suggesting neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts a slight downward trend, I propose a short-term contrarian strategy. I will enter a long position at $873, placing a stop loss at $861 to limit potential losses if the downward trend persists. My target price will be $898, aiming to capture a potential bounce from the support level or a breakout above the recent resistance. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price is currently near the middle band, indicating a potential for a move either way. If the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, around $859, I will consider adding to the long position, viewing it as an oversold opportunity. However, if the price breaks below $864, I will exit the position. The combined strategy leverages the RSI for identifying potential reversals and the Bollinger Bands for confirming momentum and volatility. This portfolio combines the most efficient strategies to maximize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Curve DAO shows a slightly decreasing trend. The support price is consistently at $0.382, while the resistance fluctuates around $0.412. The RSI values are generally below 50, indicating a lack of strong momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been contracting, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the forecast prices, which predict a continued decline to $0.377, I recommend a short selling strategy. We will enter a short position at $0.406, placing a stop-loss order at $0.42 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The target price for this short position will be $0.382, aligning with a consistent support level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands indicators. When the RSI falls below 30, it signals an oversold condition, which could be a good entry point for a short position. When the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, it also suggests a potential shorting opportunity. Combining these signals, we can enter a short position at $0.395, with a stop loss at $0.412 and a target price of $0.383. This approach aims to capitalize on the anticipated downward trend while incorporating technical indicators to improve entry precision and risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, basic attention shows a volatile trend with a recent upward momentum. The RSI consistently hovers above 50, peaking at 72.3 and ending at 62.4, indicating a generally bullish sentiment but nearing overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increasing price volatility, with the price frequently touching the upper band. Considering the forecast for December 13, 2025, to December 19, 2025, which predicts a price increase to 0.299 and 0.299, I recommend a long position. The entry price should be $0.279, with a stop loss placed at $0.264, just below the support price, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price should be $0.288, aligning with the forecast high, and a secondary target of $0.299 can be considered for maximizing profits. To refine this strategy, I'll integrate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI dips below 30, oversold, initiate a long position. When the RSI exceeds 70, overbought, consider taking profits or tightening stop loss. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, it signals a potential continuation of the uptrend, reinforcing a long position. Conversely, a breach of the lower band suggests a possible downtrend, prompting a reevaluation of the position. Combining these indicators with the support and resistance levels, the final portfolio would prioritize a long position with an entry price of $0.279, a stop loss at $0.264, and a target price of $0.288, adjusting based on real-time RSI and Bollinger Band signals to optimize risk-reward ratio. Based on the historical data and forecast, just shows a fluctuating trend with recent sideways movement. The RSI indicates oversold conditions initially, but has been trending towards overbought territory recently, nearing 80. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility, and the price is currently near the middle band. Considering the support price of $0.038 and the resistance of $0.0435, a cautious approach is warranted. My recommended strategy is a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands, prioritizing risk management. I suggest a long position entry at $0.0384, coinciding with a slight bounce from the support level and the middle Bollinger Band. Set a stop loss at $0.0379, just below the recent low and the bottom Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $0.04, aligning with the recent resistance and a conservative profit target. If the price breaks above $0.04 and the RSI remains below 80, consider raising the target to $0.0435, the resistance level. This strategy combines support and resistance levels with technical indicators to maximize potential gains while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, PAX Gold shows a clear uptrend. The price has been consistently making higher highs and higher lows, and the forecast predicts continued upward momentum. The RSI is generally above 60, indicating bullish sentiment, and the recent values nearing 72 suggest the asset is approaching overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Given this, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price should be $4,300. We should set a stop loss at $4,240, just below the support level, to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price should be $4,370, aligning with the first day of the forecast. To refine the strategy, we can incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we should consider entering a long position at $4,090, with a stop loss at $4,000 and a target price of $4,300. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, indicating an overbought condition, we should consider exiting the position or tightening the stop loss. Combining these signals, the most efficient portfolio would involve a primary long position with an entry price of $4,300, a stop loss of $4,240, and a target price of $4,370, supplemented by opportunistic entries during oversold conditions based on RSI readings. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash demonstrates a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and potential upward momentum. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 40 to 50 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show the price has been oscillating within a range, recently approaching the lower band. Considering the forecast for December 13, 2025, at $423, and the support level at $427, I recommend a long position. Entry price should be $423, with a stop loss placed at $415 to mitigate risk. The initial target price is $450, aiming to capture a potential rebound. To refine the strategy, I will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, which is around $423, it may present a buying opportunity. The target price will be adjusted to $450 if the price breaks above the center of the Bollinger Bands. If the price fails to reach the target, a trailing stop loss can be implemented, moving the stop loss closer to the current price to secure profits. The RSI, though not indicating a strong signal, suggests avoiding aggressive positions. Therefore, a conservative approach with a clearly defined stop loss and target is crucial for managing risk and maximizing potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aster has shown a downtrend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently remains between 37 and 45, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility and a potential trend reversal. The forecast for the next week predicts continued downward pressure, with prices ranging between $0.916 and $0.944. Considering these factors, I recommend a short selling strategy with a conservative approach. The entry price for this short position should be $0.934, aligning with the initial forecast price and current trend. A stop loss should be placed at $0.944, just above the forecast high, to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The target price is set at $0.916, based on the forecast low. This strategy aims to capitalize on the predicted downward movement while managing risk with a tight stop loss. If the price breaks above $0.944, immediately close the position to prevent further losses. The position size should be carefully determined based on your risk tolerance and capital allocation, but a smaller position is recommended given the uncertain outlook. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a generally upward trend, consistently testing and bouncing off the support price of $548. The RSI values fluctuate but generally remain above the oversold level of 20, indicating moderate buying pressure. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for price movement. Given this, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $582, with a stop loss set at $572, just below the recent low. The initial target price will be $592, aligning with the first day's forecast. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 40, consider entering at $582, with a stop loss at $572. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it's a strong buy signal, enter at $582, with a stop loss at $572. If the RSI reaches 80 or the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, take profit at $592. For a more aggressive approach, if the forecast price continues to rise, consider raising the target to $598, but always maintain the $572 stop loss to manage risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Quant is currently in a downtrend. The RSI consistently remained below 60, and has recently reached 41.5, indicating an oversold condition. The forecast for the next week predicts a continued decline, with prices falling from $85.1 to $79.5. Considering the support price of $80.7, we will implement a contrarian strategy, anticipating a potential bounce. Our entry price will be $83.1, coinciding with the forecast price for December 16, 2025. A stop loss will be placed at $80.7, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. Our initial target price will be $88.5, the recent resistance level, aiming for a $5.4 profit. To further refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The current price is near the lower band, suggesting a potential rebound. If the price breaks below the lower Bollinger Band of $78.8 on December 18, 2025, we will exit the position. If the price reaches the upper Bollinger Band of $103, we will consider taking partial profits and adjusting the stop loss to protect gains. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach offers a balanced strategy, capitalizing on the oversold condition while incorporating risk management techniques for a high-return investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, SKY shows a slightly upward trend. The price has been fluctuating between the support of $0.0551 and the resistance of $0.0576. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently approaching the overbought territory, with a value of 59.0 on December 12, 2025. Considering the forecast data, the price is expected to continue its upward movement, reaching $0.0584 by December 19, 2025. The Bollinger Band suggests that the price is nearing the upper band, indicating a potential for a pullback or consolidation. Therefore, I propose a moderately bullish strategy with a focus on short-term gains. We will enter a long position at $0.0561. Given the RSI nearing overbought levels and the price approaching the upper Bollinger Band, we will set a stop loss at $0.054 to protect against a sudden downturn. Our target price will be $0.0584, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy aims to capitalize on the short-term upward momentum while mitigating risk with a conservative stop loss. This is a portfolio with the most efficient of the three strategies.